Hi there, everybody. This is Sarcastic Milkshakes, or Jake Christie. This is my Draw the Artist. I think it's called Meet the Artist, actually, but I titled it Draw the Artist because I couldn't find if it was either one. I thought I'd do something different today, just to get you guys, like, familiar. I'm also planning on making this a channel trailer because I don't exactly like my channel trailer. I guess I should also explain how I do things. First I make a basic sketch, like a basic anatomy sketch. I think that's called, I can't remember what it's called, but basically you draw the basic shapes of the person. And then I make a first sketch. I usually title it first sketch on the layers. And that's me just working out where I want things to be and how I want them to look. It doesn't need to be perfect, because it's a first sketch. I'm going to come back to it and fix it. I did get a new haircut recently. I also dyed my hair, so it's gonna be different from how I colored it and drew it a couple months ago. Once again, I'm sorry about not posting. That's my own laziness. It's also a bit to do with school, but, you know, can't blame school for everything. Can't blame school for my own laziness. Okay, here's something. I loved that hand, and then I went back and redid it. Because I didn't like that hand, but I like that hand, and it was so good, and then lesson learned. Don't redraw things that you don't need to redraw. Here's the second sketch coming up. This is where I start getting, like, the, more important details in and understanding where I really want everything to be. Like, I add the clothing, I add how I want the hair to look, like how I want it to bounce around and stuff. I start actually sketching in, like, the main details, like the fingers on the hands. Like, I might have sketched them out, but I'm going to draw them. There goes me ruining the hand. I also draw beyond the basic figure, and start adding more characterization. You see me adding my my jacket. It's not a hoodie, but it kind of looks like a hoodie the way I draw it. It's just kind of got like a collar to keep my neck warm, but I never wear it that way, so, you know. I drew myself in my glasses. I don't wear my glasses very often, but when I draw, I do. That's mostly because I am very farsighted, but I also have special glasses that make the blue light it doesn't hit my eyes and make my eyes worse. The reason that a lot of people nowadays have not farsighted, I'm not farsighted, I'm nearsighted. The reason a lot of people are nearsighted these days is because of the blue screen of computers, so I have special glasses for that. You can see me adding the wrinkles in the jeans. I didn't add that many wrinkles in the final version, I don't think. A lot of this is me trying my hardest to speed up a little bit, because I knew that this would be like a complete illustration. So far you guys have only seen me doing like concept work and maybe occasionally drawing a character, but like I think the first video I ever put on my YouTube channel was well, I mean, it's not like I have too many YouTube videos out there, but the first one I put up was a picture of Jenny and Jenny, and that had no effort in it. That was me just playing around with my touchscreen. Recently got a tablet, and I think you can see the immediate improvement. I went from having really shaky lines to kinda shaky lines. I like the way that this turned out. Oh, and here's me skipping because I thought that the line art would take too long, and it did. It did take too long. It took a very long time to do the line art, and like even then I redo some of it because I didn't like the hand. I didn't like either of the hands, I don't think. Yeah, that's me fixing the hand and trying to make it better. And by this phase, I already deleted both of the sketches. What were you doing? It's a thing. I don't... That's me being very confused on how to draw hands. I'm so happy I didn't draw that line art in the same layer, because it gave me a small heart attack later on when I'm coloring. I color on the same layer as my shading for a little bit, and I almost screamed. It was terrible. Here's me adding my little characters. This one is Magdalene. That's not what she completely looks like. It's just a very simplified version of her because I like to doodle a lot, and I thought that's like an important part of me. So I doodle a lot in like notebooks and stuff, and I draw like super simple figures that are made out of like triangles and stuff. So I thought I would draw them just floating around me. Not all of these are characters, some of them are just random drawings, but I had fun doing this. I had a lot of fun drawing these little figures. Then you have the one sitting on my arm. The one sitting on my arm is Emo to the Extremo. She's very edgy, and you'll see. I gave her bunny ears for some reason. I don't know what this was. I think I was like talking with my sister while I'm drawing this, so like sometimes my cursor will stop moving for a little bit, probably because I was paying attention to my sister. I tend to not very much put effort into these little doodles. I have like an entire sketchbook filled of these little doodles, and maybe I can like draw more, but I don't really draw a whole bunch of like traditional stuff anymore because I'm trying to get into digital so that I can like not use as much paper. Paper is expensive, but so is digital art in general. I think something I should say is that I use Paint, which is a free program. It's completely free, and it's very, very similar to Fire Alpaca. People who use Fire Alpaca would know that Metabang is a Fire Alpaca product. Metabang is just kind of a different aesthetic. It's a little different, but it works very similarly. I think Metabang is mainly used for comic work. It's mainly used for comic work, and then Fire Alpaca is mainly used for illustration. I believe that's what it's for. I use Metabang for illustration because I like the tools on here better, and I like the aesthetic better. I like black instead of white. I don't know why, I just do. But you can get like your drawing from Fire Alpaca and put it in Metabang, and same vice versa with the layers. So that's pretty nice. You can see me adding the basic colors of myself. The hair I got a bit confused on because I did dye it purple, but it isn't completely purple anymore. It's sort of like a faded brownish purple, so I compromise later on. Oh, and there's the freckles. There it goes. I used to have red hair, but that kind of went away. You can see me struggling with if I should make it completely purple or not at this point. And then you see my stroke of genius, which is just to fade the purple a little bit with some brown and see what happens. This is me adding some basic shading. I didn't want to go too crazy with shading on this, mostly because I knew that it would take a while. I knew that drawing this was going to take a while, and I knew that like the decorations I added later would take a while, so I didn't really put too much effort into shading. I do think that the shading on this really doesn't make that much sense. I mean, obviously I think I was going for the light going in front of me, but it doesn't really look like that. It kind of just looks like a mess. Not very much effort was put into the shading, and that's my fault, but now I just need to live with the consequences of putting highlights on the same area I shaded. I also regret not putting highlights on the glasses. So I think we're nearing the end of the footage that I recorded, and then after it's done, you'll see the finished product, and what I made of it. And I add some textures and stuff, and yeah, that's basically it. That's basically my drawing. I've talked for 11 minutes. Yeah, so here's me looking for a piece of paper, and just putting that onto the characters. And yeah.